Good afternoon. It's Friday, October 4. I'm Herman Greene with your midday news. For those of you watching online at onespotmedia.com, a very special welcome to you. Sections of Mountain View in St. Andrew are now tense following a flare-up of violence between warring factions in the area. It's understood that gunmen from Jakes Road and Goodrich Lane off Mountain View Avenue have been trading bullets since last night following the fatal shooting of a man in the area. Now, head of the Kingston Eastern Police Senior Superintendent Victor Hamilton urges motorists to avoid Mountain View Avenue as the police and military conduct operations to restore order. And police personnel attached to the records office have refused to start working in the building that has been refurbished to accommodate them. Operations of the records office were removed from Duke Street due to air quality concerns which were associated with the building. The new location, which once housed the Organized Crime Division of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, is now being retrofitted to be the new office of the Police Records Division. When we checked, most, if not all, the tiling work was completed, but we saw workmen still applying paint to sections of the walls. There were also workmen finishing up and attaching some interior doors. Some police officers were also seen inside installing computers. We were told that the civilian employees attached to the office arrived but left shortly after with their union representative. But when we visited the office this morning, we saw some police personnel on the outside, with some complaining of feeling ill after entering the building. However, most of the police personnel left, saying they would not go into the building until they deemed it was ready. The Santa Cruz police in St. Elizabeth have made headway nabbing an alleged goat thief in Burnt Ground in the parish. 45-year-old farmer Eddie Chang of Burnt Ground District is accused of stealing 16 goats from 3 different communities in the parish. He is now in police custody and has been charged with larceny of cattle. Several goat farmers reported to the Santa Cruz police that their animals were stolen on September 15. On September 17, a search was launched and 16 goats were discovered at a house in Burnt Ground District. The police went to the house, however, the occupant of the premises ran. He was later captured and was placed on an identification parade. Mr. Chang is also being investigated for what is alleged to be an organized goat stealing ring operating within the Santa Cruz police area. He is to appear in the St. Elizabeth Parish Court next week. Since the start of the year, goat and cattle farmers have been plagued by predial thieves, resulting in losses estimated at over $10 million. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck continues to appeal for guilty pleas as one way of clearing up cases and speeding up the justice system. Mr. Chuck renewed the call while speaking at a recent training session for Justices of the Peace hosted by the National Integrity Action. The JPs were provided with refresher courses in several areas, including dispute resolution. Mr. Chuck also urged influential members of communities to use lawful means to help resolve disputes before they reach the courts and add to the backlog in cases.
For that to happen, it has to be attacked from all angles. Firstly, persons who are guilty must feel to accept their responsibility and go to court and beg for mercy and hope that when they plead guilty, the court can be merciful and offer a lesser sentence than if they go through a long, drawn-out trial. We must also use child diversion, so our young people, all of whom get into problems. And from the very beginning, when they start to show deviant behavior, then child diversion must be utilized so that these youngsters can be mentored. And the child diversion is now being sensitized right across Jamaica, and by November, we're hoping that the act will come into full operation.
State Minister for Agriculture, Floyd Greene, is urging more private sector companies to invest in the sector to help boost efforts to combat climate change. He was addressing the 10th annual conference of the Global Forum for Rural Advisory Services, GFRAS, held in Negril, Westmoreland this week. We have more from TVJ's Krista Campbell.
No cost is too much to ensure that we get water to the farmers in Peter Plains.
That assurance from State Minister for Agriculture, Floyd Greene, who says he's committed to reducing the impact of climate change on the sector. At an annual conference in Negril, Westmoreland this week, he disclosed plans to expand irrigation supply to farmers in the breadbasket parish of St. Elizabeth, where he's also a member of parliament.
And as such, we're doing a feasibility study with the help of the French government, where we're looking to leverage our biggest river in Jamaica, to utilize the water from the Black River, to supply our farmers in an area called Pedro Plains. We have already done a costing, and thankfully, the experts have said it is possible.
He says the project is now in the design phase. Pointing to the recent fire which destroyed 200 acres of farmland in Flagaman, St. Elizabeth, he commended a climate-resilient practice used by farmers, which he said helped lessen the damage. He said a private sector company which volunteered to test the soil after the fire made the surprising discovery.
Because they have been using the grass to mulch for so long that the soil now is so strong and robust that despite a severe fire, they didn't have a challenge with the loss of organic matter.
Using the investments in cassava production as an example, he stressed the developments possible when the private sector pumps money into agriculture.
The world's best beer is now brewed with cassava. We can't find enough cassava. The point is now everybody wants to plant cassava because industry is driving that change.
Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
Water-deprived residents of retirement in St. Elizabeth are now relieved following the commissioning of a water shop in the community. The water will be free of cost and will serve over 300 residents, primarily for domestic use. Close to $10 million was spent to set up the facility, which is the third of its kind set up by the local government ministry. St. Elizabeth was initially promised 4 of these facilities. However, local government minister Desmond McKenzie announced Friday that 6 will be constructed. He said the need in the parish warrants the 2 additional facilities. Retirement District, like many other parts of the breadbasket parish, has been experiencing a drought for close to a year.
They don't have to sit down and wait on a truck to come. They can come, they can fill whatever they have, and the facility will be open during the day. It will have a full-time caretaker. This is a more innovative way, easier way for the communities to get water. And remember now, there are no streams that is close by that you could say that you could create something for them. So it came out of a concept that I saw in, I think, or somewhere in India.
You see, whenever they wash, you know, they don't have enough to serve for cooking, drinking, and bath, you know. So we have to assist them with some of the water we have. When they don't have, they have to buy water from a tank, from a truck.
Blocked drains are causing worries for residents in Port Morant, St. Thomas. The residents say whenever it rains, the entire community is flooded. They also complained that the recent flood rains caused damage to their infrastructure, including water pipelines. They are calling for the relevant authorities to intervene and assist.
My husband in recent times has gone across the street with his old backhoe and tried cleaning a drain or 2, but it can't hold the volume of water that is coming from the mountains. I am hoping that the government or the department of the government responsible for these things would intervene in order that we can have peace of mind. Right now, my husband is feeling very badly because the cement room, and we pay millions of dollars for cement, the cement room will soon be flooded. If the rain falls again for the day, we are going to be in trouble.
A new effort to manage plastic bottle disposal was launched at the Haile Selassie High School in St. Andrew recently. Chairman of Recycling Partners of Jamaica, Dr. Damian King, who was at the launch of the Eco Championship competition, told TVJ News that schools across the island will be part of the initiative.
This is going to be a national effort. Every part of the country has to be involved. Every part of the country has to be involved to make sure this accumulation of mostly plastic garbage, comes to an end. Next week, you'll be getting a new cage for you to put the plastic bottles that you have collected in. And the idea is that when you buy a drink, either on the compound or just outside, you bring the bottle here and you deposit it in the cage. You're also to try to bring the bottles from outside the school, from your household, from your community. The more bottles you collect, is the greater the chances that your school is going to win the competition.
He said the dangers of the improper disposal of plastics are a growing issue worldwide.
When you buy and eat fish, you're eating plastic, so it's getting into our bodies. Plastic is becoming a huge problem in the world because it never goes away.
And we go now to news in sports. Jamaica's hunt for more medals at the IAAF World Championships will get underway today with 3 athletes, hurdler Rochelle Clayton, quarter-milers Akeem Bloomfield and Damish Gay contesting finals. Keon Rayner is in Doha and filed this report.
As the nation goes in search of increasing the medal tally from 2 gold, 3 silver and 1 bronze in the women's 400-meter hurdles and the men's flat 400 meters, head coach Maurice Wilson believes the performances so far here in Doha are shown the improvements of Jamaica's athletes not only on the track but in the field.
We're extremely happy. We have now proven to the world that we're not only a global power in track, but in track and field we're a global power, because we would have garnered final positions in terms of entering in the finals in different disciplines. The 800 meters, the short sprints, the throws and the jumps. We couldn't ask for more in terms of all-round performance.
Rochelle Clayton will run in lane 5 of the 400-meter hurdles final as she seeks to join Diane Hemmings, Melaine Walker and Ristanana Tracy as medalists in the obstacle race. That race will run off at 1:30 Jamaica time.
It's so much confidence that I've been looking at a medal, and this race tells me if I fight hard enough, I can be on that podium.
Akeem Bloomfield and Damish Gay will run from lanes 1 and 2 respectively in the 400 meters as they seek to end Jamaica's medal drought from 2003 with a medal in that event. However, the first event on track for Jamaica on today's 8th day of competition will be the women's 4x100 meters, to be followed by the men's sprint relays at 1:05. Reporting from the IAAF World Championships in Doha, I'm Keon Rayner for TVJ Sports.
And that's the Midday News. I'm Herman Greene. Join us at 7 for the Primetime News Package. On behalf of the entire team, pleasant viewing.